What is going on, everybody? We are back with another design session tonight, and we're kind of figuring it out on the fly right now.
Hey
uh,
man, this is what it is.
Sometimes it is what it is, you
Yep.
know? And so we're not entirely sure what we're doing tonight, but we have a few different ideas, a few different plans, definitely some fallback strategies, which is always in design a good thing to have. But we'll kind of keep you guys posted as the evening time goes on. So before we get into all of that, how you doing, man?
I am trying to reach somebody right now.
Fair, fair. I am thirsty. So remember I told you about that new energy drink.
Yep.
Whole bam, free promotion, pay me. This is what is keeping me up this evening time. Yo, what's going on, Minded Milton and Crispy Critter? Welcome. How you guys doing? Nice to see you both here as usual. I am pouring my energy for tonight.
I'm drinking milk tea. This is my Asian style.
Yo, Cole, what's going on? What is happening, dude?
Yeah, that's just, I don't know what is going on right now, so let's just...
Yeah, sometimes it is what it is. So I'll tell you, I put out a video today, and it's so funny because like a lot of people, not like a lot, but yo, what up, Maddie? How you doing? Welcome. I get asked from time to time from a handful of people to put out content around design, but from like the knife world, And I put out a video today, and when you get your rankings on the performance of your video, like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, whatever, right? Yeah, 10 out of 10. Nobody gave a shit.
Oh, shit. I was going to say, nice.
Really, like, I don't know. I don't know how to take that, man, because, like, like, people ask me for these things, and then I do it, and then, yeah, it does the worst out of all of my videos. Like, it hasn't even broken, like, 100 views yet, which is hilarious, What up, Carco? What up? And I'm not saying that to be like, whoa, poor is me. It's just I love observing the correlation, but between what people say with their mouth and what they do with their actions. So it's like it's just really funny to me. It's very funny to me.
That's funny.
Dude, Maddie, it's the one that I posted today called Every Millimeter Matters. And it's true. That's like a mantra back from the days of Art Center, that like I don't know if we had the same class where we discussed that, but like every millimeter of your design matters, right? Like,
yeah.
Something can be the very, just a little bit, but that additional millimeter here, additional millimeter there can completely change a design.
I mean, I have so many experience like that during Art Center and after Art Center.
Exactly.
Specifically for my application is a specific graphic and branding. because when you are on your digital platform, like you will like let's say like even like let's say your phone, you want to put a logo, place a logo on your phone as a packaging design, as a packaging design, and sometimes if you miss 1 millimeters or even tiny bit, the whole thing just seems off,
Right.
and so you have to go back and forth, millimeters by millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of industry does that too. That, for example, Apple computer,
Yep.
the way they set up their not the logo, but your MacBook,
Yeah.
on the side you have that USB-C, you have that Thunderbolt port, and then on the bottom of that you have a graphic icon of that Thunderbolt port.
Yeah.
They take time to place all that graphic on it to
Exactly.
a tiny inch, like tiny millimeters,
Yeah.
like to a center, not even an inch left or inch right, just perfect on the center.
Yeah.
That's what it matters. Like, but if you didn't do that, the whole thing just seems really off, and it just seems incomplete.
That's actually very true, even for car companies like Audi.
Yeah.
Audi will take a body line, down the side of the car where it is a slight crease or surface transition, and they will literally spend weeks moving that up like a few millimeters, bringing it down a few millimeters, and literally evaluating it. Is it better in this higher position, better in this lower position? You know what I mean?
And that happened to us just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the logo, the good logo that we were trying to like my client. Remember I showed you guys the logo on the screen, on the share screen? That's what we are doing, evaluating the heights of the position of the logo and the font. That's exactly what we are doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... What up, Pedro Armstrong? Welcome. Hope you're doing well tonight. But yeah, dude, exactly. And that's why I made the video, because it's like every millimeter literally matters,
Yeah.
Like, I made all of these study models, and dude, look at the variation in between them is literally, in some cases 1 millimeter, in some cases 3 millimeters, but it completely changes the feeling of every single one. And I'm missing at least one or two right here, but this will be enough to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Millimeters, man.
It's true. It's very true, So I thought I wanted to kind of open up today's discussion with that, because it's one of the things that's really undervalued or underrealized in consumer products and in vehicles and everything. It's we in design, we are kind of masters of balancing the world of aesthetics and visual proportion, but also at packaging things.
Yeah.
And it's what makes the difference. Millimeters literally makes the difference between what physically works, what doesn't, what looks good, what doesn't, and people are always surprised. They want to hurry up the process, but you can't do broad strokes when you want to do something to your highest level, And when I say broad strokes, that's a reference to painting. If you look at a lot of paintings, they have these big fat strokes This is for the audience. Joe obviously knows this. They have these big fat strokes, and so like when you look at them up close, you can't see any detail. But when you step away, like 20 feet away, you don't see the big strokes. You just see, fine detail. It's kind of funny. You can't do that in product design, in car design. It doesn't work.
The details matter. It's always the detail.
It is. It's really, really interesting, but I don't know. It's you guys are jerks, man. I know you do, Crispy.
Yeah, always take it in the wrong direction.
What up, Patina? How you doing, brother? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting some rest here and there. And yeah, so I thought that was an interesting sort of topic, broad strokes versus millimeters, It really, really makes a surprising difference.
It makes your design looks very different and feels different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, 110%.
And I think especially in graphic design, that really will change the view of the graphic, because the graphic is so powerful and it's just right there. Let's say like a poster or like like a website.
Completely.
When you see it, when you see the detail is off, you'll notice it right away.
Yep.
I mean, you're probably not gonna notice the difference like in detail, but you'll notice something's off.
Yeah, you'll feel that something's
not right.
Yeah, it's not working,
And that happens to us a lot when we are doing the design during the design process.
Yeah.
And not only that can apply to not only concept design, but also the research and everything. Basically, it's basically talking about everything through the whole design process. Milliliters count.
Yeah, in a very big and serious way, without a doubt. I wish, it's so funny because like I wish I had an example of like a bad poster or something, but it's one of those things that like you're so used to avoiding because it makes you uncomfortable.
So you just don't even want to see it.
Yeah, like I don't even save it, And dude. Yeah, guys. So we're waiting to hear whether or not we're going to have a guest tonight.
Yeah, supposedly today we will have a guest, but yeah.
But we'll see. We're definitely if we don't, we'll delve more into again like the backpack process, and kind of take you guys on a different process, like a different methodology for evaluating things. But in the meantime, I can show you guys if you guys really dig sketches and like design sketches, and you guys really want to see some really cool stuff, let me show you this website real quick. So this is a website called or they simcom.com/sketch site. And I'm going to throw it down in the comments here if you guys want to check it out on your own. But this is a place for car designers to submit their sketches and design work. So it's a really, really cool place. I don't think it's been. It's so funny because every time I don't think it's been updated in a while, there's like new stuff.
Yeah.
But you can really see some like beautiful kind of dynamic stuff here that really like is like, wow, like look at that. This, by the way, reminds me of the new Bugatti Bolide.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos from Goodwood, Joe?
I think so. Yeah.
Dude, it's looking pretty fierce in like the final production form. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Even though this is very simple, it just looks really dope in the sketch.
Yeah. This reminds me of Art Center.
Yeah, right?
And like everybody's is at that level in Art Center.
Yeah.
So that's very normal for us to see this type of stuff.
It's just crazy. When you really think about it, it's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's like so cool. Look at just the way he handled the reflection and these little bots here. Like, take my money. Can I have that in my driveway, please? And but yeah, you guys should definitely check out this website, simcom.com sketch site. There's everything from like, excuse me. Excuse me. Like traditional stuff that's done in like traditional sort of like painting style. You know, obviously this is digital like Photoshop, but this is hand painted in Photoshop, basically. All the way down to, you know, this is just marker and pen.
Pen and marker sketch.
Yeah.
I always love to see this type of stuff more than the rendering.
Yeah.
Because this type of stuff, this type of drawing, it's where we get really, really creative and really, really precise in designing details and exploring different shape and different materials and so on and so forth, which is very nice to look at.
I think the guy who did that is one of my former classmates. That's really funny.
Yeah, this is the presentation board that everybody needs to do in transportation design.
Actually, in general, in art centers, we used to have to do a 4-foot by 8-foot.
Oh yeah.
Presentation board, 4-foot wide, 8-foot tall.
Yeah.
But you do your kind of title up here, your design inspiration, kind of the things that guided your design language. Yeah. And then you start inputting in your sketches, which this guy did such a good job of taking pretty like basic sketches and then blowing them up to look really like imposing and dynamic on the page, you know? I like that.
It's a really nice sketch. I mean, it's still very simple, but it's very very well presented.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, dude, that looks freaking dope.
And of course, people might ask, that's not gonna work, but it's the presentation that matters in this point.
Yeah.
It's the presentation, the inspiration that matters, and
What's
expression
kind
that
of
matters.
funny is like stuff like this is not that far away from
Yeah.
working as
Yeah.
you would think.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, former classmate, like good buddy, actually. Here, actually, he is starting a car company, and this is one of his vehicles that he actually made so far, which
Nice.
you can see is not that dissimilar in terms of craziness
Yeah.
from
Not that
in
far
this
off.
thing.
Yeah.
And that thing actually exists in real life. They actually have driven it. You can actually see it a lot better from here. That's him in the driver's seat, which is pretty awesome. And they have a whole video kind of showing it driving and going around the track.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, if you guys also want to keep track of these guys, I'll put their Instagram in the link right here. I did patina. I did. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to copy that, and it's not letting me from StreamYard. But yeah, I'll pull it up. But yeah, this is going to be their first like real proper car, which is also incredibly cool.
That's really cool to see something that actually works in production. That's usually where everything just kind of relief.
Yeah. So they actually made a real version of this, whatchamacallit, this little track day car. Yeah, look at that.
It's very cyberpunk.
Yeah, right? And it had some really cutting edge technology going on with it too.
Yeah, the light in the back is very speak to itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is pre-Daytona, by the way.
Yeah. So Daytona does that.
Yeah. Yeah, so very, very dope, very exciting stuff. And let me show you what my friend Patina is talking about. He sent me these this render of the new. Where are you here? Jesus. When you start getting a lot of messages, you gotta like try and find stuff. I hate that. Especially like I wish, what I wish with Instagram, just as a side note, I wish I could like pin my best friends, closest people, to like the top, so I could always go back and click on their stuff.
You can't do that in Instagram. There's no such features.
Yeah, it's dumb. So this is what Patina was talking about it. Because I don't know if you've seen the new Prius. The new Prius looks serious.
Nice. It's really nice. I've seen it on the road all the time.
You already?
Yeah.
Dang.
A few times. it's pretty nice. I mean, it's still a Prius, but at least it's so much better looking than the last generation, last two generation.
Dude, I wonder with like stuff like this, and Japan is gonna come out with Prius tuning kits,
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, but this thing looks
nice.
Way better.
Yeah,
way better than any Prius before.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I just saw one yesterday, actually.
Dang, I may need to like get out of my house. Yeah, maybe I'll say like, yeah, look at this thing, man. Like,
I mean, you can still see the Prius vibe to it.
Of course.
It's so much better looking.
Yeah, I mean, look, like it looks like it has like a little fender flare over the rear.
It looks so much younger and so much faster and sportier.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is the first Prius I actually
I would drive it.
Mind being seen in and driving.
I wouldn't mind driving it. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna own it, but
let's see, what is the and the interior is not
nice.
too bad either.
Yeah.
Dang. Throw some sports seats in this and tune up the electrical motors, may just have something here. Let's see.
No, it's really nice. It's nice looking.
And there's already people who are working on body kits.
Of course. It's Toyota.
I like this one.
And this one is even this one has wide body kit on it.
Yeah. Oh man, look at that.
That's nice. That looks like you can compete in WRC.
Yeah.
Like Fiesta look almost.
Yeah. Oh.
One thing that they get it right is the proportion of the car.
Yeah.
And it's the line that it's what we were talking about earlier in the live stream. It's the detail that they clean up everything. They clean up the line and they clean up fenders, tail lights. And you can see it. You can see it very clearly. It's much refined, and much refined means they take care of the detail.
Yeah, look at this, where somebody actually put in the new headlights and kind of front end of the Prius on the BRZ.
It's actually really nice.
Dude, it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Somebody just do Photoshop.
Yes, please. Yes. Because like they have the rear fenders and back section from my car, which I really like. But then they have like the front fenders and the headlights from the new car. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks like a proper race car.
Yeah. Which is really funny because some of the engines from the new BRZs are blowing up on the racetrack right now. And it's like Toyota and Subaru are kind of being jerks about it. They're like, oh, hey, we know that we've branded this thing as like a track day car, right? And we know that we have done lots of advertising with this thing at the racetrack, right?
Yeah.
But it's not meant to be a track day race car. Like, what?
That's
like,
sad.
Are you serious right now? You guys are like jerks, Like,
that's actually really sad.
They built the entire kind of concept or image. Like, when they first came out with the BRZ, one of the big things that they advertised was that, like, hey, you can have your track day tires in the back. There's enough room for four spare tires,
Yeah.
so you can drive, throw on your track day tires, drive around the track, and then swap them back to your everyday ones on the way home. And dude,
But the engine start failing.
yeah, and they don't want to take responsibility for it, like, at all.
That's
You
sad.
know? Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, oh man. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just reading something really quickly.
Yeah, I guess we don't have guests for tonight.
Okay, you heard back? I'm going to whatchamacallit. There we go. Here we go. Okay.
Why is my camera looking so warm?
Oh, not for me. Actually, yours looks really balanced.
That's so weird. Did I look warm to you guys? I mean, that sounds really wrong, but
Mine is actually really
yellow. Yours is kind of yellow too.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I can change that really quickly right here, just by bringing
Just get the white
there.
balance.
Yeah.
Down.
Bring it down to like 2800K.
Yeah.
CPM, what's going on, brother? I have been thinking about you, man. You've been kind of like missing. I hope you're doing well, you know?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, Rotary RX-7.
You
Yeah.
better invest in
better.
oil.
Dude, we still, like, me and Sherif were talking, like, before, like, last year, when you were here, we started talking about our dream project car. And one of my project car is I wanted to do a Fiesta. Which is still gonna be my project car, but it's just not now.
Yeah, absolutely. They are awesome power plants. There's no question about it. It's just they require a bit of love in everyday applications, you know. For
Rotary,
sure.
dude. Before way back, even before Arsenal, I have a chance to. I almost got a Road RX-7, almost, because one of my friends is selling it, and he's asking me, are you interested? I'm like,
Dude.
Yeah, man, that's almost just almost getting it, almost not close.
Man. I like the rotaries a lot, just in general, but yeah, I feel like if you're gonna own one, you have to have a good shop nearby that's willing to like work on it, and like I wouldn't trust just anybody with the apex seals and
Those
the proper tolerancing of the engine.
are like, rotary needs a proper care.
Mhm.
Somebody is like, you need to have a shop that only do rotary.
Yeah, it's kind of true with Subarus too,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
you need to have somebody who knows the unique
The
ins and
inside, yeah.
outs of the engine and like where the engine is going to have its problems. You know, like Subarus have oil issues, like they're the galleys and stuff like that in the heads, and um, certain areas just need to be addressed a little differently, you know?
And that's one thing that I don't want. Like, I'm very worried if I get like high performance vehicle,
Yeah,
because I don't want to go to some regular shop, your ordinary shop, just to do a maintenance, or I don't want to get back to the manufacturer. It's just be
yeah.
too expensive. So that's one thing to consider, to just think about if you want to get a race car.
Well, and that's the beauty, like, that's one of the reasons why I appreciate like a lot of the drifters nowadays. Like, they've gone to old school, like, Chevy V8s as their engines because, like, dude, they're dead simple. There's a million people who know how to deal with them. The way of getting power out of them is like a formula. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Very easy access.
yeah, exactly. And like, dude, if you break down, you can literally go to a junkyard and probably find a decent block, you know, to like replace it and be back up and running, you know. So, if I had my if I had my way, right, I would build a 180 SX and drop a V8 in it, and then that would be like my fucking mess around car, you know, where I just like drive it around, you know,
Yeah.
put out like 500 plus horsepower.
So fun. Just your Sunday weekend fun car.
Yeah, you know, and just like mess with people like left and right. I mean, throw in a Rocket Bunny wide body kit on it and be happy, you know. Like, yeah. The problem is they're getting like the 180 SXs, or not, maybe not a Rocket Bunny kit, but like, yeah, it's still some sort of wide body. But the 180 SXs are getting like hard to find because of all of the drift kits, you know. And for me, I just want to run it as like a street / like track weapon, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Less base, naturally aspirated, for sure. And Bettina, like spec racing like this is my favorite, you know, because it does come down to the drivers, you know, more than anything else, and the team setup, you know. But yeah, dude, 180 SX all day, every day, because you know what, you get all the benefits of the what you call it, the Sylvia, but you get pop-up headlights.
Yeah, that's I can't say no to that.
Right? Exactly. There is no argument against it. Like literally, you're just like, oh wait, pop-up headlights, those really dead sexy tail lights that they had, especially like the JDM spec ones. Simple body styling and just
Dude, I always appreciate like simple body styling. Like, remember I told you like my my dream car, if I can get one, easy. It's the old Alpha, simple
Yeah.
body kit and just like simple box, and it's just perfect, proportion.
Yeah.
And then that's also why I love the Evo 3 a lot, because it's
Yeah.
simple and it's boxy.
Yeah. Absolutely. The Evo 3 is freaking legendary,
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Oh, man, I love me like a good 180 SX though. I'm not gonna like. Oh, look at how good this looks, dude. Look at straight up. Look at how good this looks. That with a V8,
That's nice.
right?
And I always appreciate how, like, when people do their customize their modify the right way, like
Mhm.
simple, not flashy, and again to the detail. Like
Yeah.
you see those like those small how is that the bottom was like
Right
yeah
here.
yeah the lights and stuff. It's simple and easy and just tuck away. But
Yeah.
when you take a close look, you're gonna see the detail.
Yeah. 100%. And then there's one other the only one that potentially could unseat that as a car that I would want is the FC RX-7, right?
Mm,
But it would have to have this body kit on it.
nice. Yeah. So that's nice.
Look how clean that is.
No, FC, I love the FC, especially coming from Initial D.
Yeah, dude. For me, the quadruple fog lamps and they're seated in the bumper.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I just wish, like, modern day car has that kind of essence.
Yeah. Dude, like when they showed this one, they initially showed it in this white.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like
That is nice.
look
And with
how-
that rim too. That rim, it fits perfectly.
dude, look at that.
Nice.
That's really,
That's really, really juicy.
so good looking. So good looking. Like the red is cool, whatever, right? But then you see it like, okay, the race livery is really dope, But the white is clean.
And
So clean.
with that rim, oh, it just add that little detail, little touch.
Yeah, especially with the deep dish in the rear here.
Yep.
Ugh.
And that race style sticker on the top. Well, I don't know if that's a sticker.
Yeah, right
No,
here.
the wheel.
Oh, on the tire.
Yeah. On
The
the tire,
white
yeah.
label. The white
Yeah,
labeling
the
on
wheel
the tire
label,
goes
yeah.
a long way, for sure.
Those
And I
are
love this style from Japanese cars, the downturned exhaust. Ah, so sick. So sick. Yeah. This thing is perfection. Like there's no question about it. This looks like retro futuristic.
yeah. And it has to be retro futuristic.
Yeah.
It's the right way to go. Retro futuristic.
Yeah. Let's see. Patina DM'd me right here. Boom. Oh man, Patina, the photo came in, but it's super small. Let me see if I can zoom that in at all. Oh, dude, that's a crap. Wait, what's the name of the British car company? Hold on. I know exactly what car company that is. It starts with an M, if I'm not mistaken.
Murray?
Who?
Gordon Murray?
No, not Gordon Murray. I could be wrong about what their name starts with, but they're British. They actually just came out with a new car.
I just wish I have that extra money to make my dream car. Extra money.
I wish I could finish my Subaru project.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting for your build.
Yeah. I mean, if you have like a cool 20G sitting around, I mean, I take it.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, what's the name of that car company? It's not Morgan Patina. They are a smaller outfit, but the car that you sent me a picture of, I think it's the same company, or if it's the same company that I'm thinking of, all of the reviewers actually said that it was essentially like a poor man's Ferrari F40 in terms of its experience driving it, because it's like a twin turbocharged, very raw vehicle, and that it really just had this crazy like power delivery that reminded everybody of the Ferrari F40, and it was very popular actually at its time. And that, again, that thing's not that old, you know, like it's pretty recent. I'm just going through a list of car companies right now, trying to see if I can remember it. Noble, yes, Noble. That's it. Yeah. Noble is awesome.
Yeah, I know exactly what you guys are talking about, even though I haven't seen the photo.
Yeah. The Noble M400.
Yep.
That thing came out in 2004, and I can't remember the engine that's in it. I think it's a twin turbocharged V6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a twin turbocharged 3-liter V6 that's doing like 400 pound-feet of torque, which is crazy. You're 0 to 60 in like 3.3 seconds. But yeah, dude, here. I've had the pleasure of seeing one in person. But a lot of people think that the thing is just beast mode of a car. Let's see, how long is this video real quick? All right, yeah, here let me pause the music real quick, and I can share this thing. Here we go.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
We like this car.
Technically, it is a road car. Until that is, it gets the faintest whiff of a racetrack. Then it's a race car. It's a boat! Who'd have thought that back there was a Ford V6? It's shoving out a mind-bending 425 brake horsepower, which means 0 to 60 is done and dusted in 3.5 seconds. Of course, Skig's not the only racing driver around here. Oh no. There was one occasion a while ago when I had to do a birthday tribute to the Renault Espace. And I had a good idea to sort of liven things up.
Yeah, man. They have and they also have this car, the M600.
This is what it's come up with.
Ah, yeah.
Built by some blokes I've never heard of on an industrial estate in Leicester. It's called, and that's very admirable. But you can't help suspecting the real reason it doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
this one.
Because when you're operating out of an industrial unit in Leicestershire, you can't really afford them. There's another problem as well. What kind of person looks at the established range of supercars and thinks, I don't like any of them? However, it turns out that there is a reason why you might choose a Noble rather than a Porsche, or a Ferrari, or a Lamborghini, or an Aston Martin, or a McLaren Mercedes. You see, in terms of sheer speed, the Noble can blow all of that lot into the middle of last week. Let me show you what I'm on about here. I'm currently doing 40 miles an hour in second gear. Ready? Foot down. And there's 60. 40 to 60 in 1 second. One! Okay, fourth gear, 100 to 120 in 2 seconds. 100 to 130 in 3 seconds. It does 150 to 170 so quickly your eyeballs bounce off the back of your skull.
Gotta love stuff like that, man. Absolutely gotta love stuff like that. What is it about cars that makes boys just light up? You know?
It's just the passion and the sound,
Yeah.
you named it. And I'm not talking about electric car.
No, God no. God no.
And it's the design too, like the design combine the design and the song, driving, the engagements, compassion, all that.
Yeah.
It's a car. It's a machine, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is why we love watch racing.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Speaking of
Yeah.
racing, we have a Formula One race coming up this week, guys. So stay tuned.
Oof. Yeah, and it's at like a stupid time.
Well, it's at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Maddie, like, yeah, that's very true, Crispy. To this point, though, Maddie, you know what I've always okay, this is going to get a little deeply philosophical, you know.
No, Sherif is deep philosophical conversation. Let's
Yes.
fasten your seatbelt and just stay with Sherif.
So, like, for me, this, you know, there's like the classical, like human elements, like man versus man versus nature, man versus God, whatever, right? But what's always appealed to me, and I think drives a lot of innovation, is man attempt to be superhuman, right? So if you think about it, we're the only species on the planet that does anything that we do anything that transcends our physical limitations. And there's something really poetic and beautiful about that, right? Like a horse doesn't try to go faster than a horse, right? Like a bird doesn't try to swim, Like we're the only species that develop this desire to do all of the things in nature and beyond,
Yeah.
Like prehistoric man looked up at the sky, saw a bird, and was like, bet, I'm gonna do that.
Yep.
Right?
Here comes the airplane.
Right, exactly. Right? And then man saw a fish and was like, bet, I'm gonna do that too.
And here comes a submarine.
Right, exactly. And so, for me, I think that's actually the greatest quality of man. And even for me, like, that's one of the reasons why, like, I can appreciate knives or anything mechanical for that matter, right? Because I don't have claws. I don't have the ability to, like, slice and dice with these, you know what I mean? So anything that we do, like, we seek to extend our own abilities, either through tools or machinations, and that's exceedingly unique to us. And one may argue that that's like a natural byproduct of like evolution, but we haven't seen evidence of any other creature doing exactly the same. Maybe crows, because crows use tools, right? And like some animals use like basic tools, but nothing on the level of what humanity has done, And for me, like, that's one of the reasons that I do what I do and I like what I like, because I like the concept of the superhuman man, like I like the concept of man going above and beyond his physical limitations, so yeah, like that's where I feel, that this is just really like an interesting concept, and I think design is one of the few disciplines that actually empowers that.
Design and making, it's one of the few that needs that capability to do stuff. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Again, it's we literally have created professions to enable us to be superhuman.
Yeah, that's,
if you think about it,
perfect way to put it. I mean, we are teach to be creative. We go to school to be creative, and that's how we learn. And being creative it's wonderful for me because I don't have superpower. I'm not superhuman. I'm not Superman, but I can create something close to make our life easier, and that's superpower. Our superpower is create. It's to create something that works and create beautiful images.
Yeah, man. And then we team up with engineers and we collaborate and, kind of create all of this stuff. We achieve the unthinkable,
Yeah, man may marvel.
But what about ducks, Cole? I don't know much about what ducks do. Ducks can swim, but they can't stay under the water like we can.
And they are delicious.
They are freaking tasty. They're really good.
Yeah, yeah. And if you guys ever try the roasting duck, ooh, those are my favorite. and like food is also design too. Like I always
Yeah.
look at food and cooking as a design, as an
Yeah.
art piece. So maybe that's what duck do.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, like, it's funny you say this, Maddie, because I have experience in both public and private, and I would argue that any schooling is bad for this. You know, like it doesn't matter if you're, I mean, unless the school is really designed around and there are like magnet programs and stuff like that are um like built around like creative stuff. But just because you're, let's say, like in a private school, doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get good exposure to creativity and curiosity. Like, there were a number of times, like when I was in my whatchamacallit, the private programs, where I was basically smacked down and even like threatened with expulsion, for kind of breaking the rules and trying to be creative and curious. They saw it as being challenging and not listening and not following the lead of the teacher.
That's actually a very good pivot point for us to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this type of stuff happened to our school, even though our school is our school.
Mhm.
Right? People and like the stuff that we learn there is being creative, right? It's being think outside of the box and think it in a different way. But a lot of instructors or a lot of educations that we have to go through, it's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you have to stay within a certain rules for design work.
Yeah.
And the perfect example is what Sherif went through in transportation design, and then transferred it to product design.
Yeah. Yeah, like this is exactly what it is. Like, it comes down to the individual more than anything else, and if you're like a parent, it's also about seeing, for example, that like your children, dude, okay, let me put it to you like this. I almost got kicked out of kindergarten because I wanted to do things differently, right? Like we used to do watercolor paintings, and instead of doing like watercolor paintings of like my house and my parents and whatever stuff, I had this idea to basically like pull like a Jackson Pollock, right? And I had never known of Jackson Pollock. I was in kindergarten, right? But my idea was to take colors and just really like splatter them. Yeah. But then I would take the canvas and I would twist and move like the pooled up water and pigment and create the lines by like twisting and moving the thing around. And I was really, really proud of it. But I had this very rigid, kind of, this is the right way of doing things kind of German teacher. And she almost kicked me out of kindergarten because she said I wasn't following the rules. I didn't want to conform with what the rest of the class was doing, blah, 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 and it's like, okay, like what's the point? Like I'm in kindergarten, like painting my parents isn't changing my life. You know what I mean?
Like following the rule is not necessarily bad, but if you restricted your creativities by having the rules, then that's something to think about.
Yeah.
And you are in kindergarten, and this stuff can happen in our school too, like a professional design school, which is nuts.
Yeah. Exactly. So it really comes down to the individual. Like this guy that Patina's talking about, like he fostered the creativity of Patina, and really like went above and beyond, and Crispy, his environment, was like another factor, So it's. I would like to say that there's a magic bullet to like supporting creativity, but there isn't. It comes down to really like
Experience.
yeah, and if you see it, then foster it. Like don't try and limit it. Don't see it as like a challenge.
And
So-
people, and a lot of instructors are afraid that you challenge her or him.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you get that a lot because that's what happened in our center. That's what happened in our school. That's always
Yeah.
like that. And if the instructors feel like he has been offended by you or somebody else within his so-called expertise,
Yeah,
knowledge, then you get kicked out of the class,
yeah,
or you have to retake the class, or you would never pass the class, which is really sad for me to think about it, because design is something that unleash our creativities, unleash our
Right.
brain to work on something new, something interesting, something that we've never been seen before. But these instructors will use their authorities and use their power, kind of just drive you what they want you to be as a
Yeah.
designer, which is
Yeah.
stupid. Which is,
It is.
I'm not you, we are not the same. We don't think the same, we don't act the same, we don't talk the same.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, and where I have some sympathy also, right? Like when we were in design school, like a bunch of my classmates like came up to me and were like, "Oh, Sherif, like we need you to talk to the professor. They're, not letting us do X, Y, Z. We want to, push this limit, push that limit, whatever, and like you speak persuasively, and I sat down and I thought about it. I was like, well, first of all, like, why are you trying to get me to stick my neck out for what you want? Like you have your own voice, like if you want some sort of exception to the rule, then you
up
can
yourself.
yeah, you can speak to it yourself, exactly, right? But I also thought about like a lot of educational programs, and the reality is educational programs, they're not there to cater to the individual, right? Like most schools, I hate to say it, are kind of like fast food, and that includes design programs. They're getting a new batch of students, like let's say 200 new students per program at the beginning of every semester. So that's like at least 1,000 new people, right? And if they sat there and they took the time to accommodate the needs of every single individual, the entire system would ultimately kind of grind to a halt, and there would be other students, for example, who are exceptional, that would suffer, and there would be students on the other side of the spectrum who need a little bit more specialized attention, who may suffer, right? So like realistically speaking, there's no solution for it other than to realize, like, okay, if you want to be exceptional and do things exceptionally, then you need to put in the effort on your own. Like, you can't rely on anybody else or any other thing to get you there. Nobody holds your hand in this life, you know. So you have to kind of got to go out and just take it. Like that's the truth of the matter. And I hate that that's maybe the case more often than not, but it's also true, you know. So yeah, like I said, I wish things were different, but they aren't, you know. And like
Hard to be different.
Yeah, and so like I said, like if you want to be creative, you want to push for creativity, then you got to do it on your own terms, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna help you get there, unfortunately, and you got to seek out programs. Like I said, if you have a kid, you know, then you gotta, you know, fight tooth and nail to support your child, you know, and like that's the truth of the matter, you know. Yeah, this is true. The world doesn't meet you halfway at all. The universe doesn't care about you. Like,
yeah.
You have to fight for the things that matter to you, you know, 100%. And if you're not willing to fight for it, then it's may not be that important for you, you know.
You are your own responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. It's fundamentally true, you know. So it's like, if you want it, like, go get it. But there's no
cheat way. There's no shortcut.
Yeah, and even like again, another perfect example was when I was in car design at Art Center. They basically tried to kick me out of the program because I was challenging the norms. Like, I was going out to all of these conferences and I was seeing that essentially the what my professors were teaching us was contrary to what the industry was looking for.
Yeah.
So I kept on trying to push my career in a different direction. You know,
they don't like it. They don't like it. They just do it because
no, they didn't like it to the point where they like there was like a group that kind of, you know, decided everything in the car design department, and they got together and basically decided, you know, like, we got to get this asshole Sherif out. He's rocking the boat too much, you know. And that included the head of my department. And
yeah, we all know who he is.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you know, I was asking and trying to do things like, I wanted to build functional prototypes of my cars to prove out my concepts and do X, Y, and Z. And he was like, oh, no, there's no need for that. He wanted to keep everything like very traditional and old school, you know?
And like, for them, it's just a matter of what looks pretty and what looks not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you guys ever been to Arsenal Garage Show, I'm gonna just go straight into it. Like, if you ever go into our school's garage show, especially transportation design room, you'll see, even though all the cars, all the designs is different, but they have the certain, in some way they are the same.
Yeah, they're pretty, but they're not really well thought out.
Yeah, and presentation, it's the same.
Yeah.
Like, there's no stand up, there's no different personality within different product, different project by different students. No, it's the same.
Yeah,
So
And they like that. They want that.
they like that. Yeah.
They
Yeah, they
told
like
me that that's exactly what they were going for.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is sad because our center,
It's a creative place. Yeah. And they're trying to foster the next generation of creative people.
Yeah, and how are you gonna be
all the same?
Yeah, by doing all this, you're not gonna create your new next generation designers.
Right.
It's not. Everybody is just becoming a good painter, or somebody's becoming a good sketcher. That's it.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly why I fought to be different, you know, and to take a different approach. And so when they basically like colluded to kick me out of the car design program, I went over to product design and I talked to the head of the department. I explained to her exactly what was happening and how I was being treated. And, you know, it was like, listen, if I come here, I want freedom to do whatever the hell I want, however the hell I want to do it. And then she turned around and was like, okay, cool. You know, just live up to, you know, like the bargain where like you have to deliver. I said, all right, done.
Yeah.
And so I graduated from product design. And the funny story about that is that when I graduated, the head of transportation design, who had tried to kick me out, spent the entire grad show hanging out in my booth, you know, where I was displaying my work. And his wife was like, yo, you know who would love this stuff? My husband. And she brought him over. And he was like, oh, Sherif, this is your stuff? I'm like, yeah, you fuck. Like, this is what I could have brought to your department. But you didn't want to play ball with me. So I did it here. You know what I mean? So, like, it's stupid.
They're
like, absolutely stupid.
It's just the attitude that they give you. And the curriculum just wrong.
Yeah.
The way they teach you stuff is just wrong. I mean, when I was in school, I think of it, oh, it's so cool. But after school, when I look back and think about it, I'm like, no, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, but all of this is to say that ultimately, like, creativity is not guaranteed no matter where you're at, even if you're in what is supposed to be an incredibly creative program. What's going on, Dopey?
Everything's on you, on yourself. You have to
right. Yeah. You got to do it on your own.
You can still learn how to be creative by school, but that's just 20% out of others. Yeah, you can still learn how to draw. Sure, you can still learn how to do your design work and how to seek out for creativities. But ultimately, you have to want to do it and want it to keep on pushing.
Yeah.
Your creativity and your design work.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It's just how shit goes.
It's reality.
Yeah. Like I said, it is what it is. You learn how to deal with it, and you navigate basically. And if you find somebody who's awesome and who supports your creativity, then sick.
Yeah.
You know, hang on to them and back them up. You know. Yeah, man.
That's very well said.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't regret going through the program and going through what I do, and I don't regret learning how to design and doing this stuff. But it's like, if you know the truth behind everything else, you will be like,
No, again, that's why I said, like, you have to think about whatchamacallit, You have to think about the programs as fast food restaurants. Like every school, doesn't matter if it's a design program or if it's any form of schooling, they don't have the time or the ability to adjust to your needs. So if you want to go and do like exceptional things, then it's on you to pursue them, you know? So like, dude, one of the things that I used to do, and people thought I was like super weird for doing it, I used to literally walk through the different departments and just literally open doors and walk into classrooms while they were teaching. And I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, wrong room, but what are you guys talking about here? And I learned, you know, like, oh, there's like some cool stuff here. And some people like caught on, you know, and thought it was like funny, you know, and I started making friends in different departments. And so I did projects in departments that had nothing to do with what I initially went to school for. So I got exposed to a lot of different stuff. I know how to do a lot of different stuff, you know, and because of that, like, I made the most out of my education.
You make the most out of your money.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I definitely got more for my money than almost any other student in the program. Like, no questions asked. Like, it just is what it is, you know?
And I think that's a stronger point of product design department.
Yeah.
Because product design department for us is usually seeking for operations and seeking for different, you know, working with different departments, students. And in trends, I don't think they do that. They just be on your own and they just do it on your own, which is very narrow if you think about it. But in product design, we have class that you can take literally. It's a class that you can have with other department, environmental design department, graphic design department, and come together and come up with a brand, product, service, which is much more broader than just drawing cars and drawing one thing.
Dude, I mean, I did interfaces for in-car entertainment systems. I did, you know, sustainability projects. I did, you know, freaking projects for mass transit. I did, you know, like I did a lot of shit in my time, and it's
me too
because because I refused to be limited. You know, and like I think it's more of a mentality than anything else.
You just have to you need to have that mindset. Otherwise, even though it was given to you, you're not gonna be able to utilize them if you don't have the mindset.
Yeah. You know, there's like this concept from like the Pew Pew world where it says like be ungovernable, right? Which I appreciate because it's like, dude, don't grow up behaving and listening to what everybody tells you to do all the time. You know, be ungovernable. You know, don't sit here and listen to an authority blindly all the time. You know, and that, by the way, is a big cultural difference of the United States versus the rest of the world. You know, and unfortunately, all politics aside, that's starting to change in this country, and I think that that's going to be the death of creativity here. You know, the more and more we sit there, you know, and you know, say, listen, we're going to question things. We are going to push back against, you know, narratives. We're going to push back against what we're being told is the right thing. That's how you push limits. That's how you do the next generation of great things. You know, it's the same in every aspect of life, like truly. But again, that's another philosophical thing. You know, like don't just accept. You know, go and push. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Questions are the only way we evolve. 100%. 100%. Dopey coming in with the good comments as usual. Love you, Dopey, man. Definitely glad to hear you're having a good one, man. That's freaking amazing. Dude. Yeah, guys. I mean, we kind of took things in a different direction tonight, but
Still a good talk. Still a good
yeah, absolutely.
analysis in design and specifically Sherif and I's department.
Yeah.
I mean, just just design in general.
Yep. Yeah, man. And like I love the question why. I always have. Like ever since I was a little kid. Like my family and my extended family used to hate me for it, you know?
Why?
Yeah, because they'd be like, "Oh, this is X, Y, and Z," and I'd be like, "Why?" They're like, "Well, because of this, this, and this," and I'm like, "Yeah, but because why?" You know? And I was known for it. Like everybody used to make jokes about me when I was a kid. They'd be like, "Oh, Sharif, because why? Because why? Because why? Because why?" You know? And I'd be like, "Fuck you guys! Like I'm trying to understand." You know, I'm trying to like get this like deeper understanding, you know? And it's surprising how many people are resistant to that. Like genuinely resistant. Like they're threatened by you asking why. It's pretty incredible. You
like,
know?
It's like what we were talking about, like they are afraid to get challenged.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, most people don't ask why. They don't challenge the norms. They don't say, this is okay, you know, something that should change, you know?
And a lot of time they probably don't have any answers. They just listen to other people says, "Oh, this is the answer, then this is the answer."
Right, and they just keep doing it. They just, and here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I will, yeah, exactly. Dude, this is great. Absolutely, you know? But it's like there are, okay, like I will say again for the audience here, right? Like there are some times where adhering to traditions helps you shortcut things, right? So, okay, I want to design a knife tomorrow. I don't need to rethink opening methods. I don't need to rethink locking methods, right? Sometimes replicating and doing what has already been established allows me to come to a conclusion faster, right? But that doesn't mean that there isn't opportunity to do new things, right? And that's why, for those of you guys who know me personally, right, I dick ride Gustavo Cicchini so hard, right? Because here's a guy who saw that like everything has been done this way and I'm going to change it from proportions to opening methods to locking methods, and he's innovated, right? Or you see things like the Lee Williams kickstop, right? And it's like, okay, why does this have to be done constantly in this fashion, right? And those are the innovators. And like, I hope to come up with my own innovation in that regard someday. But to make it your only way of doing things also sometimes extends your timeline from achieving anything too. So you have to pick and choose your battles sometimes too, you know. But
Sometimes
just,
you need to.
just throwing that out there, you know.
Sometimes you just need to give up some certain extent to reach the goal.
Dude, Patina, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I've been waiting for that new sketch, man. I'm definitely interested in if you once we get it sort of figured out, got to get it patented too. You know.
You know what we should do? We should do everybody show their own design and let's do some critique.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And people will know how tough we can be.
No, we can't go full art center on them. Like,
Just-
no, you can't go full art center on regular people, man. Here's the thing. I'll go full art center on people who have produced
Education.
things.
Yeah.
Right? Like tomorrow I'm putting out a review of for you guys in the chat, whatchamacallit, Jack Wolf Gunslinger, right? And I get kind of nitpicky. And you guys may have seen my Bosteed reviews, right? Like that's art center level critiques. And you know what, dude? Those got me hate mail. Like really. Like most people can't handle the full art center honesty, Joe.
I love to see that.
They just can't. Dude, this is what I've heard, actually, little brother, right? Like, they have gotten freaking soft, dude. Like, and even when we had it easier than the older generation, right? It's kind of like the military. Each successive generation gets a little easier. But like now, for example, like in the military, they're allowed to have like cell phones and crazy stuff like that. But like, yeah, I've heard this, that the current art center student will not be able to take the old style critique, which is, dude, I kind of want to go back to art center and give them like a full blown art center critique. Just be like, this is garbage. You're never going to have a future in this industry if you keep on thinking about design this way. You know, blah, 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 blah. You know, you need to get your head out of your ass. You know, and really think your process through. Like, I'll never get invited back, man.
We're gonna get black. We're gonna get blocked.
Yeah, but dude, I've had critiques literally like that.
Yeah.
Like, where professors have said those exact words to me. You know?
I have critique like that, exactly the same. They don't care if you sad or anything. They just don't.
Yeah, man. Dude, good on you, little brother, man. Like, because he's saying he hangs around after class and asks for the harsh critique. Good on you, right? Because like the reality is, you know, even though like the workplaces have changed and it's become like a lot more touchy-feely, HR-driven, woke kind of bullshit, right? The reality is the higher-ups will not trust you with a project that's tens of thousands of dollars or multi-million dollars if you can't handle the heat. Like, they really won't. And like, you're taking on, dude, even me launching my own brand is like, you know, a $30,000-$40,000, you know, endeavor, right? and I'm not going to bring somebody on board with me to work on this project who I can't trust with taking responsibility for that kind of money. You know what I mean? Like, so if somebody is sensitive and can't handle the feedback of like, yo, that shit ain't working, bro, we need to have a different approach, right? I want them nowhere near my brand or my project, like at all, you know? So like, yeah, it's serious shit, dude. So like, props to you. Dude, yeah, Petrushka. Petrushka is the one who told me I'd never have a career in design. You know? Petrushka's an asshole, though.
Yeah. Little brother, are you from design world too? Like, what's your background? We are. I mean, at least for me, I'm very interested.
Mm-hmm.
You touch on some points that it's exactly what we've been through.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, where are you right now in the program?
Or are you still in school? Or are you?
Oh, okay. Dude, I think I remember you. Yeah. Excuse me, I do have terrible memory, by the way. It's not anything personal. It's actually like a condition of mine. But, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Kid! Kid!
Yeah.
Yeah, Kid.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you were here, Kid. It's
Yeah,
our friend. Yeah, Kid just joined us. No, Kid, he's one of our friend from our center, and we have been doing stuff together and talk about stuff so many times, and he finally joined us. I totally don't remember because your name, little brother, Kid. I noticed it's something doesn't add up, and I look at Kid. Oh, Kid!
Yeah. But dude, yeah, Kid, you know,
Yeah,
Patricia is a douche.
Yeah.
Like,
No, Kid is also he's I think are you still in school, right? I remember.
oh, he left. He left Art Center.
Okay.
Went on to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily blame you for at all, actually, right? Because like beyond a certain point, you're just practicing. Like genuinely, you're just practicing, you know? And you're getting some final like refinement advice, but you can kind of do that on your own. Yeah, and you can always go back if you have good relationships.
Yeah.
And ask for feedback and advice and stuff like that, for sure. You know? Dude, because I'm a retard. That's why.
No,
I'm an idiot.
I know, Kid. We came out and have dinner so many times. And
Yeah.
still talk. I mean, but we haven't had dinners and chat for a while, for maybe a few months now. Yeah.
Dude, and this is true. The cost of the program got out of control. Like, they're gonna just start putting people in extreme debt and never be able to make that money back, you know?
Didn't know Kid is here. I just realized that it's Kid. Sorry, Kid.
Dude, yeah, like with me, like my memory does not even go back that far. I'm lucky if it goes back like 6 months. I remember flashes, but I don't remember deep details.
Yeah, we also did video together.
Yeah. Dude, you will. I just gotta drive it now with the new muffler. It's gonna be rough to drive it that many hours because it's loud. It's really loud right now.
Yeah, kid is here. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's the one problem with art programs right now is that they're getting expensive, and they year after year are getting more and more expensive. You know, but they need to figure that out. They really do. And then this is what happens, right? Because they keep on
Yeah.
jacking up the price, and less students,
And-
want to come.
The quality of students are getting very, very low every
Yeah.
single term. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have heard that the quality of the work and the quality of the students is getting out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And like especially the quality of work that you see what students producing is
Yeah.
nothing close to what we used to have. I don't know if that's true or not because I haven't been back to school for such a long time.
Yeah. Dobie, you're a nut job. Yeah, like I'm not running straight pipes, but I do have basically like an aftercat that's like 2.5 inch because it's NA right now, and a Magnaflow muffler that is just like I'm almost as loud as like a freaking properly exhausted V8 Mustang, like, and it drones, especially at like 80 miles per hour. Like I'd have to drive at least 70, which is like slower than I usually drive, in order for it not to drone. So,
I still love your car.
Yeah, dude, I've been driving it more than the BRZ lately.
Nice.
Honestly.
So that thing, you need to drive that thing. It's meant to drive.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Art Center is not a place to be lazy at all.
I mean, like, being lazy is not allowed. and what we mean by that is the standard is still gonna be really high, and you have to reach that standard, and that standard is, for us, is normal. So, and that normal is really high. The quality of that normal standard is really, really high. So, of course, there's still gonna be good work and whatnot, but like
but again, this is also why I'm harsh on people in the knife community, because it's like, okay, like if you have your own brand, you're putting something out there, like I expect you to really think about shit and like take it to a high level, not just like dick around and go for a money grab, so that's just me. Like I said, but I'm willing to deal with getting the hate comments, it doesn't bother me at all, actually. But let's see. Ooh, nice, Dopey. Nice. Yeah, see, like this is a great thing right here, Crispy. And actually, this is how our program got started. Guys who were in the Army, would come out of the service, and they would use the Army to pay them to learn how to do car and product design. And that's the history of our program. So a lot of our professors and the structure of the program was based on the principles of basic training.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking with like Kit right now about the level of the students, because as you know, with like the Army, if you keep softening up standards, you say, oh, okay, You don't meet the fitness standard, that's okay. We'll still let you through. That only hurts the military. It doesn't hurt anybody else. That hurts your battle buddy, And so, you only, yeah, you get the idea without me explaining more. But essentially, you have to maintain high standards in certain things. You just have to. Same thing even with fabrication and being like a machinist and a welder, right? Like, sure, you can weld something and it'll hold together. But there's a difference between a good weld and a bad weld, and a good fabrication job and a bad fabrication job. And if you let cheap and shitty work go through, then people will not come back to you.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they like our school is kind of like real world manufacturer.
yeah.
Like, if we can reach the standard, they are not gonna use you for any work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I won't.
That's just the reality.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it is what it is. Like, that's kind of like how life goes. And oh, that's really interesting. Alrighty, fellas. It is getting close to, it's almost 11 p.m. Usually we wind things down right around then.
It's a really good talk today. And
Yeah.
And surprised today, kid jump in.
Yeah, he's been in there. He's been in here before. I just didn't connect him in my mind with like, that kid,
Me too. That's why I'm like, oh, surprise.
Yeah, that's very true. 100% true. And I'm really wondering, with the increase in availability of artificial intelligence tools, how how that's going to start affecting the outcome of people's work, right? Because, like, dude, I mean, AI can generate like crazy stuff, like absolutely. Like, I'll show you one of the things that I picked up recently, or like I downloaded recently, because I wanted to show it to Joe. Which is funny because I haven't sent it to you yet, but this is as good a place as any to show you, right? But this guy pumped into one of the AI image generators, like, what would be the Gundams for different countries. So, like, look at this.
Yeah.
This is AI generated, right? So if you could sit here and have AI generate this, like, that's insane, And there's tons of them. Like, you don't need to paint anymore. You don't need to ideate. You don't need to come up with like different proportions or understand any of this stuff, because AI can generate it for you, And look at that. Look at the difference, right? They're taking like the proportion of the people along with the decoration and the flag and integrating it all into the concept of a Gundam. And then when you get into like Samoa, look at the difference in the physical proportions, right? That's very clearly playing off of like the Samoan people, along with the Samoan flag and some of their historic traditional like decorations. You know what I mean? This is stuff that you would learn to do in design programs, right? How to look at things and create this on your own, Look at this, the Chilean one. Look at how they integrated the sort of dress right here into the leg protection. Like, how dope is this? You know? The Philippines. Like, super sick. North Korea. Right?
So AI in certain extent it's a great tool. To
Yeah.
an extent, but if you go beyond that, there's a problem.
Yeah. And I mean, like, dude, look at the difference in character and how fitting it is for Spain with this, like, matador kind of, like, royal exterior, and then, like, Israel with this almost, like, Bedouin kind of, like, inspired aesthetic, you know? Like, so cool, so well done, you know? But again, AI, you know? Fiji, again, look, they've integrated the traditional sort of, like, I don't know what you would call this, but necklace, you know, dressing, detailing, so dope, you know? El Salvador, so sick. Norway, look at that. Look at the horns, bro. The horns and the hair. Portugal, and everyone feels like it belongs to their country. Look at this. This is America. Like, come on.
Or American Dream.
Yeah, dude. It feels like even the physical proportion of it feels very American. You know, Japan. Come on. Like, how sick is that? Scotland, Egypt. Yeah, look at that. Look at the connection to, like, Anubis and just the colors and the lines, like the black and gold with the hints of red, you know, and the very slight kind of white highlights. Like, this feels like cyberpunk future Egypt, like 100%. I don't know which country this is supposed to be, but also super dope. Jamaica with the freaking braids, dude.
Yeah. You sing both.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. Even UK, again, feels very UK. Ukraine. Saudi Arabia. Again, notice the correlation between Israel and Saudi Arabia using this sort of like schmuck kind of thing, you know? But yeah, like, if AI can generate all of this stuff,
You're losing our job.
yeah, like, but the thing is, what differentiates this, like, yeah, you can put in good prompts and you can learn how to prompt well for AI, but if you don't understand how to get this as a result, you're still no good. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Again, AI is a great tool to come
Yeah,
up with concepts and come up with stuff like this, but you have to know how to utilize it
yeah,
to that level.
yeah, absolutely.
Don't let AI lead your work. You lead AI.
Yeah,
AI is your friend. He will help you get your stuff created, but you have to be the one to do the execution.
One time, Dopey. One time, and I'm never gonna live it down. I'm catching up. Let's see. Yeah, the Norse one was sick, right? American one needs more guns. Yeah, definitely. I'm the same way. I want all of these as models. I think they're freaking
You know,
super.
you can do kit bashing.
Yeah.
Kit bashing and just paint it. Just do some paint job.
Yeah, that's a special one, by the way, Dopey. I wish I could, man. I'm not the one who did these Gundams. I just saw them on TikTok and I saved the images because I thought they were super cool, you know?
Yeah, they are cool. They're really cool.
Good night, Chrissy.
Good night.
Yeah, on that note, fellas, let's wind it down and wish you all a wonderful night. Thank you guys, as usual, for joining us. We really appreciate every single one of you. If you guys are into F1, we will be doing a live stream after, like, half an hour after the F1 race.
But we don't know if we're gonna do live on this race because that's 6 o'clock.
Oh yeah, so we'll probably watch it at 7 and then do a live at 9:30.
Or even like watch it at 9 o'clock because 6 and 7 it's only 1 hour after 1 hour into a race. The race might not be finished.
Yeah.
We might watch it the replay.
Yeah, because there's no way I'm waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday unless I need to.
I think for us, 9 o'clock is the best time, or 8 o'clock is the best time.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
All right,
night,
you
kid.
guys. Good night, kid. Love you, Dopey. Glad to hear it was a good one. Cole, hit me up if you and Maddie are gonna hop into Diablo chat. And
Diablo chat.
Yeah, on the server, the Maddie server.
Diablo is getting the season 1 patch tomorrow, so stay tuned with that, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
I am definitely gonna go up and play some tomorrow.
Really, who gets full prediction, Patina? Come on.
It's
It's
easy.
gonna
That's
be
an
what's
easy
happening.
answer.
Yeah.
That's easy answer.
The harder question is who's going to be, P2, P3.
Oh, you know what?
P4,
I'm gonna predict Yuki Tsunoda pole position.
Yeah. Please. That's a losing bet for sure.
Or Logan Sargent.
Yeah, exactly. No, bro. Like, if anything, I'll guess P2, P3. Norris is going to be in the top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norris will be top 5. Maybe
Alonso,
Sainz, Leclerc if he doesn't shit the bed.
Yep.
And we may see Russell. I don't know if Hamilton will be up there. I hope so, but it's no longer guaranteed. So yeah, I'll throw those guys. I definitely think Norris is top 5 though, without a doubt.
They have with that McLaren.
Yeah, if the McLaren keeps kicking ass the way it has been, But on that note, I will leave you guys with one last video. It's not going to be what you see right away. Where is it here? This is not this, but it's this.
Metro!
Nice. Yep.
Keep the bitch jump, keep it all jump, keep the bitch jump,
Yeah. Thought I'd share that.
Very nice. Very cool. Wait, is that a game? Or
No.
a movie?
No, that's a video of those two cars going at it in real life.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super dope. But alrighty, fellas, thank you for hanging with us. Peace. Have a good night.
Bye bye.
Laters.